I think we need to just go back in time to that one evening where we decided to have wine at your house. We ended up, having a lot of fun. We ended up having a little threesome.
A little threesome?
Yeah.
A minor threesome.
Yeah.
It was a minor threesome.
You were like, you guys need to see where this goes. Explore this relationship. You've been wanting to find a woman that we care about. What you're feeling in that moment and how you got to this place of wanting to see your husband happy with another woman. Me. I think we need to just go back in time to that one evening where we decided to have wine at your house after an epic photo shoot and dinner that we had with our friends. And
oh yeah, that's right. I was like, wait, what photo shoot are you talking about? She's talking about the first time that she ever, so Lauren is an incredible photographer and her favorite medium is naked women, which obviously. I was like, oh cool, she's a photographer. Had no idea that the moment that we got into, we were like hiking into Panga. I don't even remember.
Yeah, Malibu.
But she was like, do you know what would make this photo better if you were naked? And I was like, what? Okay. So then I just actually took off my clothes in the middle of the trail. And it wasn't epic.
Were you turned on then?
I kind of was. I mean, I think there was already obviously an attraction between the two of us. We were spending a lot of time together. And I already obviously knew I liked women, and Pasha and I were in an open relationship. Did you know we were in an open relationship?
No, I was stunned that evening.
Okay, that evening when we brought her back to our house for some wine, which she had been over plenty of times for wine and movies. But this night was different.
Yeah, it was. It was very different, but I felt very comfortable with you and Pasha right away. And, Pasha and I have known each other for quite some time. We've gone back many years. So it was really cool to reconnect with him moving to LA. And he meant so much to me. And I was only hoping that you would understand how close our relationship was. And I was so happy to move to LA, and you just welcomed me with warm arms. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And that evening, I was definitely taken back. I've always been somebody who's very open. So we ended up, having a lot of fun. We ended up having a little threesome. So
a little threesome?
Yeah. I mean, it was
a minor threesome.
Yeah.
It was a minor threesome. It was not a major threesome. It was just a minor threesome.
Yeah. And so a question I have for you that was challenging for me to understand at the time is that after our threesome, we were all cuddling.
Mm-hmm.
Great aftercare, by the way.
You're welcome. I'm a huge fan of aftercare.
And
it's very important. Almost as much as foreplay. Maybe more. No, almost as much.
During that cuddle session, we were all cuddling, and you looked at both of us and you were like, you guys need to see where this goes. You pointed at both of us. Like, you need to explore this relationship, because I've known that you've had sexual energy towards each other. And I've known that there is something deeper there. And we've actually been calling in somebody like you into our life. We've been wanting to find a woman that we care about. So you guys need to see where that goes. And I didn't understand it at the time. So.
Wait, I said that?
Yes. I'm
really smooth. I'm pretty smooth, right? Okay.
So can you share about what you're feeling in that moment and how you got to this place of wanting to see your husband happy with another woman?
Yeah.
Me.
Bomb. Powerful question. Lauren doesn't mess around. She jumps right into the powerful questions. I love it. So, well, first of all, it was true. I mean, it still is true. I think, so Pasha and I have like pretty different, I think, styles when it comes to like what we want from outside partners. And so, in the beginning, obviously you're like kids in a candy store, everything's brand new. And it's like very much about sex. We were in our like 20s and just like, oh my God, I can't believe like we want to sleep with other people. We want to like watch each other sleep with other people. Okay, cool. But the older that we get and the more grounded in who we are, I very much have to have chemistry and intimacy, and I like consistency with another partner. And for Pasha, it was always kind of challenging to find that. And I think there were parts of him that are like, that's not really what I want because I don't have the time. He's also told me that he's feared like not being able to really give another woman like what he gives to me in terms of like time and attention and just all those things. I think it's a lot of pressure on him. But I also think that the other side of it is there's not a lot of women out there who want to carry on like a relationship and have chemistry and intimacy and invest in a man who's married because, you know, many women grow up like searching for that ideal that they think they're supposed to, that society, you know, dictates, like find your person, find your one, the person you're going to marry, and you're their everything. So I think there's a lot of reasons why Pasha had never found that until, you know, you. And it's true, you guys had a very close relationship. You spent a lot of time, you know, together because he was actually like in a very platonic way, but he was a big mentor in your life for a long time. So when I saw like the chemistry that you two had that sort of turned into something that felt very romantic, you know, once you moved here, I was like, oh my gosh, this is like, that's funny that I said, oh my gosh. I said, oh my God, this is so interesting because I love seeing him that excited and really care for somebody because most of the women that, you know, he had slept with or, you know, had flings with were not, you know, somebody that was going to stay in his life. Like I knew that. And I don't think he wanted it. But then here you are. We're like best friends. The three of us were spending so much time together. You're living with our best friend, Claude, and you were a huge part of our lives. So I knew that if Pasha was going to cross this line with you and be romantic, that you were very important to him. And it wasn't just going to be like a fling. So I'm excited because I'm like, here's this woman that wants to like love and like care for my husband. And she's incredible. And so for me, because I've had that with other guys, I was like really stoked. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so what's going through my head is I'm like, this is amazing because, you know, maybe like 5-6 years ago, I would have been a little freaked out for sure. I mean, maybe not, who knows? And it didn't come along. So I don't really have the opportunity to compare it to. But I think at this point in my life, I'm so sound in who I am. And I'm so confident in my marriage and like my relationship that I know that if love's coming in, it's only to add. Like I'm not worried that something is going to like take something away from me. I don't have this inherent belief that I'm less valuable because he's going to share love with somebody else.
Yeah, that answers a question I was going to ask. Because you and I had a conversation like maybe a few days later or a couple days later. I had a conversation
when you called
with
me,
you and Posh. I was like, Jess, you realize I'm going to fall in love with your husband, right?
I remember where I was. I was in the parking lot of Daria, the Persian restaurant. And you called me, and Pasha, I think, was like walking in the restaurant with his dad, maybe. So like him and Bijan are going in, and my phone rings, and it's Lauren, and she's like nervous. I can like hear it in your voice. And she's like, okay, I really have to talk to you. Like, I don't really know how to say this, but I just don't understand how this is okay because I think like I'm probably going to fall in love with your husband. Like, how is this okay?
Exactly.
I was like, I don't know. I don't really know how it's okay. It's not like I had a plan or like I knew how I was going to end up feeling. But I knew that I wanted to see where it went. Like I knew that, I don't know, the way you guys felt about each other was like so pure that I just wanted to explore it. I wanted you guys to explore it. Also, like I didn't realize that I would be such a big part of it, obviously. Yeah. I think in the beginning I was like, oh, this is fun for them. And like, I'll hang out. And if they want me to be like present while they're having sex, amazing. But yeah, I didn't think that obviously it would lend to us having like the relationship that we do.
You know, I obviously always knew I was attracted to women. And I'd had threesomes in the past, but they never meant anything to me. Not the way even that first night with you and Pasha did. And it was always kind of like drunk partying in Vegas, you know, like wild nights.
Yeah.
Wild nights.
Yeah, you're in your 20s.
Yeah, like, so this was the first time I had a threesome where it actually meant much more. And I felt so seen, even in the very first night. And I felt like a fucking goddess. I was like, this is unreal.
Well, you are.
Like 2 tongues at once. Are you kidding me? What?
Yeah.
Insane.
It's pretty great. I mean, and it's so funny because you had no idea that it was going to happen. I mean, none of us had any idea it was going to happen. It was very it was super organic.
It was a fun
very
surprise.
Organic. It was like a non-GMO
Very fun
surprise.
We started the night off by FaceTiming all of our friends. Tell us your most wild sex story.
Oh, yeah. Well, we were all horny because I think we were all into each other, but nobody wanted to break the ice. So we were like, let's call Vicky and make her break the ice.
And she told one epic story that, Thank you, Vicky.
Yeah. Thank you, Vicky. Thanks, Yummy Snacks. Great story. Inspired. I think so. Like during the story, I think Pasha started kissing you.
So it was funny. He started massaging me and I was like, oh, no big deal. We're super cuddly all the time. Like, no big deal. And then all of a sudden he starts massaging lower and lower onto my chest. And I'm like, before you know it, like my tit's in his hand. And I look over at you and you're just like totally enjoying the story, like not even caring what's going on over here.
Yeah. The story was so good. I was invested.
So good. And I'm like,
love a good sex story.
Whatever. Okay, this is happening. And then he Spider-Man kissed me. He was like,
oh yeah, that's right.
It's so romantic. And I kiss back and then I stop and then I look at you.
And I was like, please keep going.
Keep going. So good. Anyway, so going back, something that started between Pasha and I quickly turned into the 3 of us. And also the 2 of us, you and I.